Hi guys, hi everyone. So today I'm going to be starting on this new series for my channel, which may or may not take off, it depends. So I was thinking of starting a series of K-pop lectures. So these K-pop lectures will be more in-depth about K-pop in general, about certain topics. Yeah. Maybe like just a little bit about myself first, in case you're wondering like, oh, what makes you, able to be someone to lecture about K-pop? Well, I'm glad you asked. For me personally, I've been writing about K-pop for magazines and websites for over 5 years, pretty much making me a K-pop dinosaur. And I also helped out in some, organizing some events for certain celebrities. Let's get back to our lecture. So I was thinking, what is a good first topic? And the first topic is gonna be quite a bit heavy, not so heavy, but quite meaty, I guess. Anyway, first topic for today's lecture is how Hallyu saved K-pop. Yeah, how Hallyu saved K-pop. Okay, for those of you who don't know what Hallyu is basically it means Korean wave, and Hallyu means Korean wave, and it basically is talking about it refers to exporting Korean culture abroad beyond Korean shores. And when it comes to Hallyu, we're not just talking about K-pop. We are also talking about Korean beauty, Korean food, Korean culture in general, and of course that also involves K-pop as well. And Hallyu has been very successful in the past decade, I would say. I mean, it doesn't matter where you're from. You could be like, I don't know, in America or in Europe, there'll be some traces of Hallyu from where you're at. Of course, some countries, there is more Korean influence compared to others. So yeah, so this is what Hallyu is. And Hallyu is one of the reasons why K-pop is saved. What's the K-pop, right? Why do I say that Hallyu saved K-pop? We have to go a bit into the history about K-pop, and so let's talk about generations. Yeah, focus. Okay. So for when it comes to K-pop, we have the first generation, second generation, and now we are living in the third generation. So first generation, we have the first generation of K-pop is probably in the 90s. The 90s. So back then we have H.O.T, SES, Sheki, Shinhwa, G.O.D. These are like the classic first generation K-pop people. And then after that we go to the second gen, which I would classify it as 2000 to 2010. Whoever debuted then. So back then there was Dongbang Shinki, Wonder Girls, Big Bang, Super Junior, Double S 501, Girls' Generation, 2PM, yada yada. And then we have the third generation, which is what we are living in now. There is 2010 to 2020. So honestly, there are just too many to list right now. I mean the popular ones is of course BTS, EXO, 101, 17. Yeah, so that's like the third generation of people. now just judging from this, right, you can see how Hallyu has really affected K-pop generally. Like the first generation people, majority of them do not last beyond 3 years. I mean, we don't talk about them reuniting back, like, I don't know how many years later, that kind of thing. But just when they were active, they were only active for maximum 3 years. But then the thing is that, of course, Shinhwa was a very special case. Shinhwa, for those who are not so sure about their history, for Shinhwa is SM actually wanted them to disband and only keep a few members. But they were like, no way, we are gonna be Shinhwa forever, and they basically all just left SM and started their own company. And that is one of the main reasons why they were able to last so long, is because they were like, heck it, we are just gonna like, just plow through it anyway. So that's really mad props to Shinhwa for that. And so for the second generation people, is the main pioneers of this Hallyu K-pop thingy. People like Dongbang Shinki and Boa, they were, SM had a really very specific plan by then about taking advantage of Hallyu for K-pop. So for Dongbang Shinki and Boa, their main market was going to be Japan. Super Junior is going to be China, SJM, and yeah, so this was what happened. Like for example, you can see, right, compared to first gen and second gen had so much more groups which lasted beyond like the 10-year mark compared to the first gen. And one of the main reasons for this is really because of Hallyu. The Korean market generally is just so small. It's not just talking about Korea itself as a country, but when it comes to K-pop, actually for the K-pop demographics, right? When you see most of the consumers of K-pop in Korea, they are actually teenagers and high schoolers. But when it comes to the rest of the world, when we're talking about, like Japan, Asia, people tend to be a bit wider. I mean, it tends to go from teens to 20s, 30s, 40s. Especially in Japan, we have like, ladies in their 60s and 60s who are still, really actively supporting the K-pop market over there. So this is one of the main reasons why Hallyu is so important. It's because, it's obvious, right? A teenager's consuming power, a teenager's income level, spending power will not be bigger than a 30-year-old who probably has a job and has so much more money to spend on her hobbies, right? So this is one of the reasons why K-pop abroad actually brings in more cash generally. And we're not even talking about concerts, bring concerts abroad, bring all these events abroad as well, all the merchandise abroad as well. It really brings in a lot of cash for the K-pop market. This is why, K-pop is, this is why the overseas market is such an important market for K-pop. Like, they really need to venture abroad and beyond in order to last longer, in order for their groups to sustain and to make more capital in them as well. And so for Hallyu, right, of course, let's just talk about the direction of the wave at the moment. For SM, right, SM targeted Japan in the early years. For Boy and Dongbang Shinki, they really, they really made their artists learn the language to really infiltrate into the market as well. So Japan was the first market that they wanted to go into. And after that, it was Asia and China. China was a really big market in the 2010 period, early 2010, yeah, before this whole TED political issue came about, which kind of caused them to not go so fully into China now because of the political situation. Right now, we are seeing a lot of K-pop going into the US market and also the Latin American market as well. These two markets, I would say that it's still small, it's still very new and emerging. The US market is actually like the market that K-pop agencies want to go into because it is the biggest market after Japan. I mean, it is the biggest market. Second is Japan. So obviously they want to go inside the US market. And it's not just because of the money, I feel. It's also because of bragging rights. Like, the American dream is something that is very real inside K-pop agencies' minds. So yeah, that's what they really hope to do. And there have been some successes so far in the US market for K-pop. We can wait and see what happens. So basically, yeah, this is what I have to say. K-pop really needs the overseas market in order to survive a long time. Because we are living in a material world, and that's just how it works. And as K-pop becomes more, I don't know, I think the production value generally is getting higher also, and people, I mean, all the artists, they really work so hard to achieve what they have achieved so far. So it's just really amazing. Yeah. And like, yeah. Yeah, so that's all there is for the first lecture. I guess I should have some sort of conclusion, but I'm not very sure what to say, except that it's going, I don't know, this Hallyu wave is going to be, it's just gonna be bigger and better than ever before. I mean, the only thing that made it not as, sometimes political situations can cause it to, halt. As you can see what happened with the China issue China issue. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this K-pop lecture. It was a bit all over the place. Do tell me if you have other topics that you want me to talk about. And I will be giving a massive K-pop giveaway soon, actually, on my channel. So please subscribe. Details will be up in the description box. Yeah. Bye.